hopefully that video will be something we can actually use. We'll see how it goes. So, when I was thinking about what to do today, I was thinking about my own goals for this year. And one of the exciting opportunities that I had was to take over a friend of mine's marketing for his remodeling site. And so I was able to take over all of his marketing, and I get a piece of anything that comes in. So I had been, like I said, on this journey for about 18 months of understanding how to really blow out content. And one of my personal, when I did my yearly planning, I heard somebody talk about their business plan or planning. My planning for this year was to really widen my footprint online. And it started with an experiment from last year in late 2014, which was to own the keyword Kyle Bailey Austin. So if you look up Kyle Bailey Austin, the vast majority of what you're going to find on the first 3 pages is me. And so if anybody comes into contact with me, whether I'm here in Austin, or I'm in Dallas, or I'm in Houston, or even another state, they know I'm from Austin, they know my name. So that's the reasoning behind it. So I've just put out just a metric ton of content. And part of that is the strategy of what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So the first thing is your keywords. So start right now and write down your 5 core keywords. And if you don't know your 5 core keywords right now, that's the first problem you have. And you need to solve that immediately. You need to understand your first 5 keywords, your 5 core keywords. This is what everything points back to. Okay? So while you're doing that, let me get this thing centered. If you guys ever do presentations, I highly recommend Haiku Deck. Started. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, what holds most of us back with content, I know it did me for years, is, oh man, what do I put out there? I don't want to put the wrong thing out there. And then, is anybody even going to read it? And then, oh no. So get rid of all those thoughts. If you struggle with any of that, get rid of it. And understand, I have a quote that I use on myself all the time because I'm the oldest of 8 kids, and my dad would always make me responsible for anything anybody did wrong. Even some of the neighbor kids. I'm still the one who got it. So I always wanted to be right. You know, I don't like being wrong because if I'm wrong, I'm not right. And that mindset can really hold you back, and it did me for a long time. So I embrace this idea that I cannot grow without being wrong. I cannot grow without being wrong. And, you know, I look for moments to find a hole in my thinking. Because I'm so bent on being right that I will default to that kind of trajectory of thinking if I just do inertia, right? If I go to my normal way of thinking, I'm going to go to this thing of always being right. And inside there's a little fear of being wrong. So if I believe that I cannot grow without being wrong, and I fear being wrong, then I fear growth, right? So that fear stopping me from growing. So I look for moments where I find little nuggets of truth that oppose that thing of me always being right. And one of them is embracing a thought that I'm completely wrong in my thinking. And I want to invite you to embrace that. Okay? Anytime you find a spot in marketing that you can objectively say, this is all wrong. The way I'm thinking about this is all wrong. That's a powerful moment. And I want to invite you to really look for those, because that's when your marketing can really turn around. Because what we're really held up by, have you ever heard of a baffle? Anybody not heard of a baffle? You don't know what a baffle is, okay. A baffle, if you ever heard of the term "I'm baffled," well, it usually means confused or I'm stumped, I don't know what to do. Well, baffle, in a physical term, it's the same technology they use in mufflers. A baffle is a series of blocking mechanisms inside our like little walls that won't allow clean pass-through. And the reason it works in a muffler is you've got this incoming sound, and it's run through all these channels. By the time it comes out, you can barely hear it. All the cars that you hear are definitely loud. And through technology that we've worked on for over 100 years now, we've quietened that down where you can have a conversation right beside one and never hardly know it's running with some cars. So it slows down a flow, right? Well, that's what a lot of us deal with in marketing. So we don't think this thing is slowing me down, right? But what we don't realize is it's not just one thought. It's that thought, then that your flow has got to run through that. Then there's another one. Then there's another one. And by the time it gets out, the original thought is so emptied out, it has no force. Now, that may not sound connected to content marketing, but what I'm going to show you today, what I'm going to talk about today, I hope by the end of this meeting, you will have at least 20 really great ideas. So let's get started. Your 5 keywords. Somebody give me your 5 keywords. Anybody?
I don't know if I knew, but I had a few.
You're a real estate agent, right?
Yeah. Real estate, home for sale, home, buy a home.
Home buyer, home seller.
Real estate, town, Cedar Park.
Mm-hmm. So a really easy way to do this is to, first of all, think of your keyword yourself. This is one of those things that allow you to see the gap in your own, what you consider to be your marketing and what your consumer, your ideal client considers to be your marketing. And that's an important gap. It's also an important exercise to go through to understand the difference. Do any of you watch The Profit? If you don't watch The Profit, you should be watching The Profit. It's outstanding. So the deal last night was they have this little retail space. And when you walk in, you saw a little retail space for shoes. You could immediately see like the office area. But the office was just as big as the shoe area. And what I immediately said is, what is this space for? Because when I walk into this space looks like a mixed-use space. It almost looks like you're renting office space. And what the guy said is, this is a shoe space, but that's coming from his perspective. And that's very common with business owners that they define the space. They say, this is what this is. And they argue with the consumer. They argue with the client. When the client says, I thought this was this. No, and you have to understand how the consumer views it. So in your case, what I would do is, the beautiful thing about Google is Google will tell you what they're thinking. They don't hide it. Now there's some things they hide because they want you to go into AdWords. And that's one of the things I recommend is get into AdWords. Even if you spend $100 a month, the keyword data you're going to get alone is worth it. Because you can't get that keyword data in organics anymore. So this is what you do. Search your field in Google. This is not AdWords, this is just in Google. And Google is going to predict the completion of your text. Any of you who are on Google right now, you can just go to google.com and start typing it in. So if you did Austin investing and you started typing the word invest, by the time you finished S, it's already going to predict a host of keywords. So then you can pull those, copy them down, and then start investigating those. The second thing you do is go to some of those search results and you look at the list of title tags that are on that page. The title tags are the purple, blue links at the top of each listing. So each listing has like Austin Investing Professionals, then it'll have the URL in smaller letters under that, then it's going to have what's called a meta description under that. The keywords and the reason that page was returned has to do mainly with the big blue title part, okay? So write that down, because that's what Google is saying. These are the top 10 most relevant returns for this subject. Okay? Now, it doesn't tell you everything, but it's a great start. It's a great start. Okay? So, 5 keywords. You have to know your 5 keywords cold. And so, like your number one thing you should leave today, if you don't know them cold, that's the first thing you should do is go home and figure those out. Okay? So, what we're talking about is producing content, and it's not about We talked about this is called planning the content for the entire year of 2016, but there's a larger purpose behind all this. And that's to produce enough content that is indexable by Google. Google's going to understand it and they're going to put it where it belongs, or at least where you want them to put it, so that you get this huge benefit out of your content production. Okay? So there's two sides to this. One we call the money site. That's, so Eric, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for Eric, that would be your domain. That would be your real estate site, your own personal real estate site. Okay? The second side of this is what I call tier 2 sites. Different people mean different things by that. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean by a tier 2 site. A tier 2 site is not my money site. It's anything beyond that. Now, tier 3, below that, is like junk sites. Those are things like where you're going to post content that doesn't have your name on it at all. It doesn't come anywhere close to touching your domain, because there's a chance that Google might call that spam. Most of you in this room are never going to deal with those tier 3 sites. That's what professionals deal with, because they know how to handle those, they know how to firewall them, so they don't hurt your business. Okay? What the majority of what I'm going to be talking about today is tier 1 and tier 2. Okay? So tier 1 is your money site. That's the one where everybody's going to see this content. This is the stuff you'll get embarrassed by if you screw up on it. Tier 2, most likely nobody's ever going to see. But Google will index it, and that gives you power, a lot of power. Okay? So, 5 keywords. 5 keywords. Seasonal, industry, testimonials, local and mobile. So I'm going to do this with Eric right now, just next to us. Eric and I were sitting across from each other in a consultation, and Eric said, Kyle, I want you to come in, I want you to help me with my marketing and help me untangle all this, and let's get this going. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to find out, by the time I get to the table, I'm already going to know those 5 keywords, first of all. I'm going to talk about seasonal, how do your customers buy in a seasonal fashion, what seasonal aspects affect your marketing and how, and you should write these down in phrases, just really easy. You know, in January, my customers look and buy this way. In May and spring break, my customers look and buy this way. At the beginning of summer, my customers look and buy this way. At the end of summer, they look and buy this way. At the beginning of school, they look and buy this way. Holiday season, they look and buy this way. Okay? So those are 6 divisions we just named off in seconds. Every one of those is content. Every one of those is a blog post, at least. You could probably do a whole series of 10 blog posts, each one of those silos. Okay? So, 10 reasons why Christmas is a great time to buy. 10 reasons that you don't buy in spring break period, and parentheses, why you should. Okay? So, then industry. The top 5 industry trends affecting real estate in 2016. Year in review, 2015, here's a roundup of the top industry news that affects your ability to buy a house in 2015 and what that means for you in 2016 and beyond. Okay?